this guy hates Russian girls. No, he doesn't. But this title is, this is the worst romance of the year. Which, well, I haven't seen every rom-com, but Roshtere I don't think was as good as Maki and Heroine during summer 2024. I genuinely believe that. I believe that Roshtere was fun, it was bubbly, but the story was heavily carried by people thinking that the Oni-sama, you know, the incest memes were funny. That's it. People didn't give a fuck about the actual plot of the whole student council election debate and stuff. They genuinely didn't. People would only show up for when Yuki shows up and then says some incest lines. The overall plot, I personally thought it was interesting because it was like a tournament style, right? We're like competing and dueling in people. But let's see why this is the worst romance of 2024.
You know what? I'll say it. Alia Sometimes Has Your Feelings in Russian is a bad show.
Oh.
Actually, that's being really generous.
Is it a bad show? I don't think so. I think it's a great show. I think that it's like a 7.5 out of 10. I think the production value for NoahBoahCoah is fantastic. It's not like the S tier production value priority like Oshinoko, right? You can clearly tell that Oshinoko versus Roshtere, there is priority given to Oshinoko, but doesn't mean that Roshtere is bad in terms of production value. Now, aside from production value, the story, again, maybe it's going to be focused on, you know, the story about like why he thinks that this is a bad anime. But I think that it's a great anime.
To accurately describe it, I would have to use some of the most vulgar words man can think of. Okay. Things that I can't say, things that you can't even imagine. This show is so much worse than I could have ever thought. And if you think otherwise, I challenge you to still think that after listening to all of my points.
I'm down. As long as the logic makes sense, I'm always down to listen to controversial opposing, you know, narratives. Let's see the likes to dislikes. Pretty good ratio. This shit's still better than Rent-A-Girlfriend. One day we'll watch Rent-A-Girlfriend.
I get that I feel like the show is a guilty pleasure, though if it is, you better feel really fucking guilty. Or to laugh at it, but those that genuinely believe from the bottom of their kokoros think that the show is good are beyond this realm.
No. I think that's ridiculous to say that this anime is bad. You know what anime is fucking bad? Fucking Failure Frame, Newgate. I look at the production value. I'm sure this guy has a focus on exactly the story. Because if you genuinely like cared about production value and how that highlights a story, even if it's bad, this show is great. But again, the story, I'm sure that's the focus of the video.
Transcended reality into this disgusting level of delusion, and I'm here to hopefully reel them back in. So today, I, NoahBoahCoah, will be doing just that.
Let's get it.
Explaining why Alia Sometimes Has Your Feelings in Russian is such a dogshit, god-awful show.
That's crazy.
If I help any of you by reeling you back into the real corporeal world, you can thank me by subscribing. Seriously though, I would appreciate it a lot.
Alright, let's see it.
보소또 로시아고 데테레르 토나리노 아리아산, or Alia Sometimes Has Your Feelings in Russian, is a story about... You know, it actually says it all in the title. It's pretty convenient for me actually. She's a tsundere and has a big fat crush on Masachika Kuze, with Kuze being his family name and Masachika being his given name. I'll be taking the liberty of respectively calling him Masa. And before diving into this cesspool, let's talk about some of the good things. You know, to soften the blow a little, the show was pretty and Masa's sister was funny at first. Now onto the cesspool. We first have to have a basic sense of who each character is and what they represent. Masa is every rom-com protag ever. Just as horny.
No, he's not. He's a lot more capable than most rom-com protag ever. Because most rom-com protag, again, I still believe this. I believe that rom-com is the most power fantasy genre. No, not even more than isekai. Yep, I believe that because the most traditional rom-com protag is created to be relatable to the degenerate losers that watch this shit. And I'm sorry, I'm just gonna speak the honest truth. The more that you can relate to a character, the more you will be engaged and therefore give a fuck. You will most likely check out all the episodes. You'll most likely even buy the DVD Blu-ray. You're gonna think, oh shit, that's me, bro. But you notice that most of these male characters are just absolute losers. They're shut-ins. They do nothing with their lives. They're maybe not stupid, but they're definitely not outgoing at all. And the most popular girl from the school will somehow show up and reach out to you and save your dumbass. The funny thing about this is that even though you could relate to every single part of the personality quirks of that main character, the main character still has a good looking face. Why? Because it needs to be marketable, right? Masatsuka is different. This dude is a lazy genius. He is outgoing when he wants to be, and he refuses to, be in the spotlight and stays in the shadows. He's honestly reminded me a lot of Ayano Koji from Classroom of the Elite. There's a lot of Classroom of the Elite parallels. Maybe I'm crazy, but I thought that the whole Masatsuka and Alia relationship felt kind of like Ayano Koji and Horikita Suzune, if Ayano Koji would treat Suzune a little bit nicer.
Just as pretentious, just as much of a little dickhead, just as much of a bitch, but with the gift of being really gifted as we come to find out. So think Ayano Koji if he were in—
There it is! There's the comparison. And I don't think that every rom-com protag is an Ayano Koji, not even fucking close. I think that the most stereotypical main character of a rom-com could be the dude from Shikimori. Shikimori sounds like cutie. Y'all know that one? Soft kid, cute, does nothing. Well, he's not really a loser in that one. What's a really good one where he's an absolute loser? What about Snafu? Snafu is Hachiman. He kind of a Giga Chad though. He a Sigma. he a Sigma though. I'm trying to look for one where it's literally they do fucking nothing. They're just absolute losers and they're just outcast, and then the girl just shows up and just saves them. Kind of like Kubo. Kubo won't leave me alone or something. Yeah, Kubo bro, exactly.
In a rom-com, Alia is a tsundere, but guess what?
What?
She speaks Russian.
Yeah, she does.
Alia likes Masa, and she sometimes has her feelings in Russian because she simply can't contain how much she wants his dick. But guess what? Masa actually knows Russian because there was this girl he wanted to talk to when he was younger, whom he magically doesn't know the name of. I can't say for certain, as they may pull off a dumbass twist, but
it's most likely it's most likely gonna be Masha. Angel Next Door? Nah. Angel Next Door, the main character is actually Giga Chad too. He's kind of he's like a reclusive guy. He's very capable. He's just chilling. I'm talking about a person that literally does fucking nothing with their lives and just gets saved. And I've noticed that there's this, pattern of behavior where the main character, again, just fucking does nothing with his life. Is an outcast, a loser by society. And then, popular girl shows up and just is interested for no fucking reason.
I'm pretty sure that girl is Alia. I fucking hate this amnesia trope. It was dumb in Nisekoi and it's just as dumb here.
I honestly enjoyed the mysteries here, because aside from the incest memes from Yuki, the show did not have much to offer in the beginning, but the mystery gave us these schizo moments of oh, is it Alia? Oh, is it Masha? Who could it be, right? Keeps you guessing. I thought that the execution of this trope was perfectly fine.
If someone is that important, it's pretty hard to forget their names and everything about them even years later. I still remember most of my childhood friends and even childhood acquaintances, which I did.
So he's mad because this is not realistic to him. I don't care because this is a work of fiction, and clearly this is a fucking stupid way to, address his issues with memory, but at the same time, I don't really care because the mystery keeps us guessing and it offers, more fun to the show. We're constantly engaged and thinking, who could it be? That's what I care more about.
Didn't know really well. Sure, I may have forgotten some minor details in who they were, but if you help me jog my memory, maybe, just maybe, if they are right in front of my fucking face telling me that they love me, I may or may not remember. And even aside this show is filled to the brim with terrible, horrible, no good, very bad tropes.
Okay, such as? And remember, tropes exist for a reason. Trope doesn't mean it's bad. Trope usually means that it's really good. A trope became a trope because some show popularized it, some sort of mechanic. There can be bad tropes, there can be good tropes. But at the end of the day, it all matters about the execution of said trope. Now, exactly what is he pissed off about?
Accidental pervert scenes, lack of communication, sister fucking tendencies, indirect kisses, and yes, I said sister fucking. You see,
you getting upset at indirect kisses, bro? This shit exists everywhere. It's just a little cute thing.
Masa has a sister whom he conceals at school. They try to hide the fact that they're siblings, and instead, they act like innocent childhood friends with his sister, Suo, flirting with him a lot.
Yeah.
In public, Suo puts on the nice, refined princess facade, but in private, she's kind of a goblin. And I enjoyed that side of her quite a bit.
Okay.
She was witty.
Fourth wall break? Us?
She was funny.
Yeah.
But then I realized that the only joke they have with her is
Yeah, that's it. That's her entire character. At least here. Right? Many people only care about this show because of the incest moments. That's it. And that's why I thought this show was a very overrated show. Doesn't mean it's bad. Doesn't mean it's the freaking worst romance of the year. But the fact that people didn't care about the overall plot with the student election arc and only cared about the incest shit truly showed me that, like, y'all don't really give a fuck about the story. Yeah, you don't care about the development between Alia and Masatsuka. You just care about Yuki showing up and being a goblin. And you know what? Nothing wrong with that. And Yuki does evolve after this. She isn't just a simple incest, meme character. Because later on, who shows up? The maid shows up. And the maid and Yuki then suddenly have this funny final boss, demon lord / secretary relationship as they are becoming antagonists against, Masatsuka. And that's a totally different aspect of Yuki that we see, which is also very enjoyable.
Is, haha, I want to fuck my brother. Get it? Hey, it was funny the first time, the second time, maybe even the third time. But then they do it again and again and again, non-stop. The only reason she was bearable throughout the rest of the show was the god.
I don't think that it went non-stop. The incest shit really popped off in the first half, but it tapered down towards the end. Because again, now Yuki became a totally different character. Rather than being just used as a gremlin for incest shit, she then, of course, became the antagonist, right? Even that whole thing about how Yuki sets, Alia up, right? Remember that episode? Remember how Yuki also fucking drugged Masatsuka about that shit? Yuki also has a very interesting side because as we realize the family history, she is like kind of like chained by her grandparents to act a certain way. Like there's a lot of complex sides about her, and she is not just an incest meme character, although that does seem like it in the first couple episodes.
Tier voice acting. Maruoka Wakana does some serious heavy lifting here, so props to her. And I don't even know what reason they have for hiding their relationship, so I did extensive research, meaning I did a Google search.
Just watch the fucking anime. They're hiding the relationship due to the whole family. Wait, is this spoilers? Hold up. The whole living apart was because, again, parents got divorced. Remember? Right? Mom is stuck at grandparents' place. This is kind of spoilers, so I'm gonna just skip ahead here a little bit.
That's still a dumb fucking reason, by the way. Whatever the reason is, there is a way to not be weird about it with everyone ever. Honestly, it all boils down to the fact that his sister can openly flirt with him if they hide that they are siblings, and guess what? That creep likes it.
Now, what is the reason why they're so similar in bonding? Yes, it's, it's blood, it's siblings, doing this shit, but wasn't there like a lore-related reason? The lore-related reason was because of how they were separated. And Yuki wants to be good to Big Bro after they got separated. What was it? Did they give us the specific reason? Details are leaving my head right now.
He wants to pork his sister, and this style of lack of communication extends through every other part of the show. This is not a good thing. I don't know why the people who wrote this or the people who like it think that it is.
So his main gripe with this show is, I hate incest. Yuki is only incest, which I don't really agree with, because if you watch the second half of the show, right, the incest stuff, again, is very prominent in the first half, but it dies down as we get into the election shit, and now then the story is more predated on Masatsuka and Yuki and, Alia trying to, battle against the other duos in the debates and shit, and Yuki is now more funny with, the maid character.
Having a bad thing be the whole show makes a show a bad show. I think this show might have the worst communication I've seen.
Not even fucking close. The worst communication I've ever seen in a rom-com is literally Snafu. Snafu is stupid fucking kids that'll never talk about their feelings and expects the other sides to understand, but due to the misunderstandings causes drama over and over again. That's it, bro. Snafu is that. Like, and I get it. That's the whole point of the story too. You have Hachiman and fucking Yukinosuke, right? Who are both kind of like two sides of the same coin. One's like an elite cold girl who is very isolated, and the other thinks that he's a fucking Sigma male, but is actually just a fucking autist. and they don't talk, and they expect other sides to kind of know what other side's feeling. I get that. Rostere, I don't think comes even fucking close to the miscommunication, but this guy has a bias of hating this show because he doesn't like Yuki about the whole incest aspect. And I'm not sure if he finished the show either, because again, to assume that Yuki is only incest bait is wrong. That may be true in the first like 5 or 6 episodes, but again, she develops into a different character as we gear into the Student Election Council arc. That if he's only watched a couple episodes and he is just basically saying, I hate this shit because everything is based on Yuki's incest and Masatsuka trying to fuck her, which I don't think is even true. Masatsuka says no, he doesn't want to pork her at all. He hates it because of that. That's basically what I'm hearing right now.
Worse than even Toradora. This show has its lack of communication at its most extreme. Literally everything within the show could be solved if they talked like normal people. They just have to say.
On the topic of talking like normal people, I also had this take too, watching Snafu. But here's the thing. These are stupid teenagers. They're not grown, fully functioning adults with an emotional maturity that allows them to talk about everything that they want to, right? And I honestly don't even think that, like, what is the miscommunication here? Like, what is the, like, what are they not talking about is what I'm confused about.
Say, hey, by the way, I also speak Russian. They can say, hey, Suo is my sister. I'm not porking my sister. They have so many options, but they conveniently take the most cataclysmic and straighten.
You want the secret to be out, that the Russian part, but that's the whole point. That he doesn't want to tell her. And she's saying that's the whole fucking point of the show. Masatsuka will never confirm until the very end. And here's what, and most likely by the time that they're really ready to confess and go at it, I bet like there's some places where Alia starts to become more affectionate to Masatsuka and then accidentally slips her affectionate words. Instead of saying Russian, will say it in Japanese. I think that it would be very cliche but cute if Masatsuka also does the same thing, but rather than that, he accidentally says it in Russian, and then boom, the miscommunication. That's not even a miscommunication, that's the whole fucking point of the show though. Yeah, it's not a misunderstanding exactly. Like, he doesn't want to do it. That's the exact point of the fucking show.
I'm not porking my sister. They have so many options, but they conveniently take the most cataclysmic and straight nonsensical path. Masa especially makes everything worse the longer he acts ignorant, and by now, yeah, I have to agree, he can't back out, but in the beginning, he could have just revealed that he can speak Russian.
Why? Why would he do that? I'm genuinely interested, like, why would he do that? Because, like, he doesn't want to. He thinks it's cute when Alia, you know, says all this shit. It's like, also, there's the idea that the anime will end then. I mean, that it's the gimmick of the show too, right? Like, I'm a bit confused because maybe he doesn't understand what he's watching. Because that's the whole premise of the show. Do you want the endgame conclusion to happen immediately? Because that's the whole gimmick of the show, that he doesn't want to tell her, but as they get more and more close with each other, he kind of does. I don't get this take.
Not to mention, if that was the case, they can get together, and I know Masa's horny ass wants this. And I don't know what other explanation there is to this phenomenon.
It's a fucking rom-com. Some shows will start off, that's the whole storytelling aspect. He wants the end destination immediately. Like, there's different types of rom-coms, right? There's romances where immediately you start dating, and then the rest of the show is about, you know, that relationship blossoming into something more. And then there's other types of shows where the whole point is to fucking delay to milk as much as possible until they eventually get to the confession and the story ends, right? The whole point of Rostere is the latter, where it's like, all right, bro knows Russian, but he doesn't want to say it. And now they're going to develop their emotions over time, and eventually the secret will get out, then boom, the story will end. Like, that's just like the storytelling of this. And if he hates those type of romances, perfectly fine, right? If he hates the rom-coms, romance drama shows where it's all about just leading up till the confession, then this show's not for you. But like, again, do you know what you signed up for?
Than the characters being too plain stupid to do so. Because even other than being too stupid to talk, we see countless instances of them just being stupid.
Like what?
So incredibly so.
Like what?
For example, Alia literally professes her love for him at the end of the 4th episode. She verbatim says I love you in Russian, and they are both in denial that what she meant was that she loves him. How do they have it spelled it out for them and still not know? How else does she have
He knows she's very affectionate to him though. Like I know Alia said that. But Kuze, he does I guess the anger and the frustration comes from why Kuze doesn't fucking approach Alia and just like fucking get it over with. Right? Like he knows that she loves him. Masachika does know, right? It's been a while since we've watched this, but she does know. 100%. She literally says it. He understands Russian. But she said it in Russian and she only said it because under the assumption he doesn't understand. Well, Kuze dodges it because obviously to confront her here, like here's the thing. If he confront, like I understand. I get the frustration, but the whole point of the story is that he cannot confirm it now. Or else it gets too dated. And I don't think he really wants that love right now, right? Because like, it sounds like Masachika definitely adores Alia. He definitely cares about her a lot. But there's something blocking him right now from approaching that love. And weren't we talking about how like Alia needs to stay locked in? Was there something to do with like, you know, Masachika, I guess, not wanting to get in the relationship to, I don't know, lock in with Alia? Masachika backstory too, right? That's not really given just yet. But yes, at this point, Alia literally confesses in Russian. Masachika obviously is too deep in to this, you know, this misunderstanding where he can't confirm it. But at the same time, I'm willing to give the benefit of the doubt that there's some backstory from what happened in the past regarding the divorce that prevents him from pursuing such a thing, right? I'm making assumptions right now, but okay.
To put it for both of them to understand. Alia has the emotional maturity of a zygote and Masa isn't much better. Alia also doesn't seem to have any sense of conforming to society's norms because of the concept of the show itself. First of all, this is even a bad concept. Okay. It's not like the concept is novel and good, but the execution is bad. The concept is as generic as it gets, but that's besides the point I'm making here. Alia has no sense of what's normal, which is a sign of being an infant. From when you were young, you were taught many of society's norms so you don't look like an idiot. Don't shout in public, how to dress, how to engage in a normal conversation,
where are we going with
to
this?
not speak a foreign language to someone's face. And I don't know why I only realized this in episode 10, but nobody fucking does this shit. No one says things to others in a foreign language.
You're... okay. Come on, are you getting hung up on that gimmick of the show? What is he getting mad at? Like the whole premise is a girl speaking in her native tongue so that she doesn't want the guy that she has a crush on to know. It's a fucking anime. It's a stupid quirk. And like, is it that wrong to assume that like people don't speak? I'm pretty sure they do. I don't know about this. This take is wild to me. I mean, everyone can have preferences, but like, that's wild that like you're mad at that? That like Ali doesn't conform to society and she speaks Russian? Like that's the whole premise though.
Add on in Korean and go.
Alright, go back.
So 10, but nobody fucking does this shit. No one says things to others in a foreign language.
I mean, I am Korean myself. Back in high school, I think that I would say some things in Korean to other people just because they didn't know what it meant. Was I shit talking? Maybe.
If someone asks me, how do I look today? And I say in English, you look nice. And add on in Korean and go, 아따마, 미안하. 오늘 좀 심각하네.
심각하네? This is serious?
오늘 좀 특별히 더럽게 억수로 못생겼나, 미안하.
Okay, that ending Korean pronunciation was just fucking butchered at the end. But what are you saying?
좀 특별히.
특별히 means specially.
더럽게.
더럽게 means like dirty, kind of, but there's like other implications.
억수로 못생겼나, 미안하.
신기냐? I don't know what the hell that was at the end.
더럽게 억수로 못생겼나, 미안하. 아이고 임마 심각하다 심각해.
This is serious. This is bad.
병신 같은 놈아.
병신 같은 놈아 means like you fucking retard.
First of all, it's weird as fuck. Second of all, it's obviously something provocative. Conversely, if our
I feel like he's getting so upset at the most unserious thing right now. It's gonna be a long video. I'm gonna take a piss break. Let's think about this up for a second. I think to this guy, he really cares about realism, huh? Like he cannot comprehend that someone would speak a foreign language to another person. Or like the things that like even like this conforming to societal norms that Alia has, like the emotional maturity is like, oh sure. We could say that, you know, these are stupid fucking high school kids. That makes sense to me. But like there's this aspect of chasing realism from watching this video. And if it's not realistic, then he's like, this is retarded. But this is a work of fiction. That's the whole gimmick of this show. I don't get hung up on the fact that she speaks Russian when she is charmed. And somehow this is wrong because it doesn't happen in real life. Because I know that this is a fucking work of fiction, an anime, where the whole gimmick is a girl saying that shit. And then I go off with that. Why would you get so triggered at this is I don't understand.
Respond in English, no you don't look good. And then add on, 우와 너무너무 멋있다 결혼해줘.
너무너무 멋있다 결혼해줘 means wow, so cool, marry me.
I'm obviously saying the opposite. You aren't even supposed to use a foreign language to people you know when there are people around who don't know the meaning.
It's not that big a deal. Like, why is this a cardinal sin? Why are you getting so hung up on this?
It's just kind of rude. But I guess that's just Alia's character. And annoying.
Yeah, I agree. She is rude. She's a bit annoying. She has that, like, cold independence.
Self-absorbed idiot bitch.
Annoying self-absorbed idiot bitch. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. Her entire backstory was that. Her flashback, remember? Until she met Masachika and learned how to cooperate with others? He's absolutely spot on about that, but he fucking hates her, man. he really hates her, man. This is pretty funny.
Also, to cut some slack, everyone else in the show is just as bad. See, Masa's whole reason for not revealing his secret is to not embarrass her. Let's even give him the benefit of the doubt to that piece of savior complex bullshit. If he doesn't want to embarrass her,
savior complex bullshit. Oh, we got a lot of buzzwords coming in.
Why is he fine with embarrassing her by saying that he saw her panties and enjoyed it? Why is he okay with giving her spicy food to watch her panic?
Because the level of embarrassment is a spectrum, and the embarrassment also applies to Masachika himself. Suddenly, at this level, him confirming that he knew Russian all the time pales in comparison to eating spicy ramen. Like, this is not the same.
Why is he okay with asking her about her cup size? But it honestly doesn't matter how bad of a character and person he really is. Let me lay out some background for this part. In the 16th century, Nicholas Copernicus first proposed a heliocentric model of the solar
Oh shit, we going fucking orb right now. Alright, y'all know about geocentrism and heliocentrism, let's go.
Solar system. Before that, the geocentric and biblically accurate model was accepted.
That's right. The world was the center of the universe because God loves humans or some shit. We watched that in Orb and heliocentrism, what we know now about how everything revolves and spins around the sun. Okay, where are we going with this?
Later, Galileo would famously solidify Copernicus' theory by making several observations that proved this theory.
I can't wait to see how this will prove that Roshtere is trash.
Then, much later, in the 21st century actually, a new model was discovered by a scientist.
Nani?
That scientist discovered the massa-centric model of...
Okay, he's cooking. All right, we got the massa-centric. Everything revolves around Masatsuka. Well, he's the main character though, yeah?
The universe. Also, that scientist is me, BT dubs, and my source isn't that I made it the fuck up. Not this time, because this world does truly revolve around this guy.
I mean, define revolve. That fact that everything just like works out for him, because the point of the story is for Alia to fuck up and I guess Masatsuka to kind of step in and guide her and have that development. This is the way I view Roshtere. Yeah, there's the whole romance between Masatsuka and Alia, and there's a whole misunderstanding of Russian, even though Masatsuka understands and Alia doesn't. But also to have this fucking retard girl work towards something and to be able to compel an audience and eventually win student council prize. She has her goals and motives for doing that. Her flashback showed you her flaws of trying to be too much alone and trying to force this high standard onto others, which only ended her being isolated, right? And just kind of like no one wanted to do anything with her. And Masatsuka then is able to kind of like softly guide her and build her up. There's still a lot of moments where I'm frustrated that Masatsuka just clutched for Alia while Alia just didn't do anything. But I mean, I think that she is developing, and that's the whole point of the story. Masatsuka carefully guiding her as their relationship blooms, and one day maybe, Masatsuka will respond in Russian and boom, love done, chapter over, manga over. That's how I view the story.
From everything he interacts with, I refuse to call those things people, ending up wanting his dick regardless of how vile and disgusting he is. To people...
Vile and disgusting he is? What did Masatsuka do? I guess it has to do with this notion that Masatsuka wants to fuck Yuki and the incest memes are bad. This is so extreme and hostile. Holy shit, is it that serious?
Literally living their lives out for him. For example, during the student council arc thing, which don't even get me started on. Actually, wait, do get me started on it because it's gonna be the next thing I talk about.
It's just funny to me how triggered people get watching Roshtere. Maybe he's playing it up for the video. But like, damn, bro, you need to, there's some unsettled issues. Like you're this emotionally butthurt over these. Like, I am appalled that someone is getting this triggered for Roshtere of all anime. But like the vile and disgusting Masatsuka, I do agree that Alia is retarded. That she's a very self-absorbed, person. But the whole like the world revolving around Masatsuka, I think, has to do with, again, Masatsuka, other than like in season 1, the development is mostly through Alia. Masatsuka kind of is like a perfect character. We know that's not true because later on there's the whole like we see his weakness. What is his weakness? His backstory, the divorce, whatever happened with mom and dad back in the day, and the way that grandfather also views Masatsuka, right? That's for like season 2 and beyond. But my impression of Masatsuka was, I mean, I guess he's already a stand-up good guy. He's kind of perfect, not knowing his backstory. There's not necessarily any development that needs to happen for him because he exists to kind of guide Alia, who is the center of the development. Therefore, Masatsuka seems to have everything's laid out, everything is perfect, and the world revolves around him, is the understanding that I had.
And this is a perfect segue to it. Anyways, we meet this girl. I don't know her name, nor do I care enough to...
Also, yeah, I forgot about that part. The reason why he's perfect, well, Yuki and Masatsuka, they're literally white room kids, right? They're like super trained. Their families are like elite bureaucrat politicians or something. They're built different, right? They have like a different set of training. Yeah. There's also, I guess, that in terms of like lore relevance of like why everything just works out perfectly for this guy.
To search for it. Anyways, that girl starts off antagonistic as shit towards my...
Yeah, I hate this girl, dude. This girl, oh my god, she was the biggest simp, right? She was the fucking biggest simp, and she was mad. She was mad on behalf of what? Yuki, was it? Right? Because like she saw this girl saw Masatsuka and Yuki's relationship as the perfect duo back in middle school. then suddenly Masatsuka decided to team up with Alia instead. And Taniyama got pissed off on behalf of who, bro?
My girl Alia. And then when we hear the reasoning later on,
So stupid.
I just lost it.
Me too. This was so fucking stupid, bro. But the correction happened in a matter of like seconds, right? It's insane how delusional she was. And then boom, she's so aware of like, yeah, actually at the end of the day, you know, I was really jealous and insecure about, you know, you going with Alia because I had you and Yuki as the holy duo that I cherished in my heart. Like, and she's like, yeah, it's my fault. It's my fault. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what a quick self-reflection.
She is so goddamn salty that she lost a student council president election in middle school, by the way, which this show makes so much more important than it realistically.
Was she salty here? About the lost? I thought that she glorified these two pair and that's the whole reason.
Is she swears revenge on him and won't accept losing to anyone else other than him.
No. She was crying. Yeah, we seen the crying part. Was the revenge for Masatsuka though? I thought the hatred came from the fact that he betrayed Yuki in her mind.
And Suo. She quite literally does the Zoro thing after he lost to Mihawk. You're telling me that you have no purpose in life. Your life is literally as valuable as a summer ant. You're just gonna keep getting stomped and you're gonna keep coming back even though he's gonna seal up all his cracks. You're gonna keep coming back. Why? Because you keep smelling the syrup. You're that worthless that you have no other reason to live than for him. You can't get a job, study, find a hobby, find love.
I'm all for the Taniyama slander, by the way. This character fucking sucks.
Learn a new skill, nothing, just him. If that alone isn't enough evidence for the Masa-centric model, I don't know what is.
Again, I don't think it was fixated on defeating Masatsuka. Even though she cried about the loss, she revered Masatsuka and Yuki as the power couple, and she was like, wow, glaze, respect, oh my god, stan. And then because Masatsuka then betrayed fucking whose expectations? Taniyama's? Who the fuck are you? And he went with Alia, that's why she was mad. That's why she crashed out. I'm pretty sure that's what happened. So I don't know if the whole Masatsuka-centric model really plays in here because Yuki also had a very significance in, you know, the importance that Taniyama's had in like Masatsuka and Yuki in Taniyama's heart.
Also, now back to the arc as a whole. First off, I want to start.
Yeah, Taniyama was very mad at Alia, right? Because like Taniyama was like, you fucking slut. You're leeching off of Masatsuka. Yuki deserves to be in that position. Fuck you. Yeah, Taniyama really hated. And Taniyama was just like an ultimate shipper.
Off with something pretty good. The Prez. I like Prez.
Okay.
He honestly is my.
Yeah, he's a great character. He's a very inspiring character. Bro lost a weight in order to get the girl of his dreams, but also use that motivational weight loss journey as like proof results that this guy is hardworking, therefore let's vote for him.
My number one advice. It's not that important, but I figured I may as well say it again. I've said this before somewhere during a stream, but if you want to improve yourself, become the type of person you would like. If you want a girlfriend or boyfriend, become the type of person you would date yourself. It's a lie.
If you want a girlfriend, become the type that would date yourself. It's time to become trans. It's time to become the girlfriend, guys.
If someone says you don't have to change, just be the way you are and someone will love you. I'm gonna be blunt, if you're a loser, no one's gonna like you. That's a fact. So
That's
change
true.
and improve yourself little by little. That's exactly what the Prez did and I really liked it.
Yeah, great character.
And sadly, that's the only good part of this arc.
No, come on, really? I really enjoyed, well, everyone has different, entertainment is subjective, right? Prez's stuff was really cool. Masatsuka bailing out Alia was funny to me because I would shit on Alia being like, ah, you fraud. Masatsuka has to back bail you out again. There was some interesting thing happening with Nonon, right? She was like, you know, fucking messaging everybody and a paid actor. That was kind of interesting. Yuki, again, and the maid, those two relationship and how that blossomed into like Demon Lord final boss style, that shit was also funny fuck to me too.
Firstly, you must assume that everything I said before remains true, if not amplified during this whole arc. Then, we could start discussing the additional bad things that happen.
Okay.
They start by introducing us the student council, which really wants Masa. He rejects them at first, putting on the normal background character facade, doing the overused I just want a normal high school life thing,
yeah,
but then reveals his true colors. His colors are still pretty much the same disgusting hue of dog shit.
Why are you so mad at him? He's just chilling. He just weebing out, staying up all night watching anime and playing gacha games. He has a gremlin sister that really is affectionate towards him, but he doesn't go out of his way to say, I want to fuck you. Like, where is this vitriol for Masatsuka happening? Like, Masatsuka's honestly a chill guy. He's super chill. What did he do? Did he murder this guy's family?
But when Alia is having trouble settling a dispute between two clubs, she starts crying like a baby.
True. And Masatsuka was waiting, right? He was like, can you handle this yourself? And he was like, ah, shit, I guess I gotta bail her out again.
And Masa comes to save the damsel in distress.
Yep.
This conflict, which is supposed to be a cool, smart, dramatic moment, is by far one of the dumbest things I've seen in the show.
Why? Dumbest things in the... No. You're gonna tell me a moment where Masatsuka understood the incentives of the baseball and the soccer team. There was, I think, someone on the baseball team who had a crush on the soccer team, right? I think it was the captain and the secretary. He understood that, gave him a reason how they can share the field and the other side will have to go somewhere else, but, you know, to compromise, right? Two birds, one stone. I thought that was pretty smart. You know what was pointless? The fucking episode where they all got drunk and started stripping to do the hypnosis. Yeah, the hypnosis one. That is just blatant stupid fan service. I think that will be a good example to say here.
And that's a really high bar to cross, or a really low one depending on how you see it. They're just having a common dispute, nothing crazy, but Alia just starts crying for no reason.
No, it was for no... Because she has a role to play. The reason Alia cries is that she has a very high standard of herself, yet she was not able to resolve this dispute. And both the baseball and the soccer team did not give her respect, even though she came from the student council to kind of prove her worth. And by being, you know, neglected, she started to realize that, God damn, it looks like I can't do anything by myself again. That's where the tears show up. I think it's an emotional moment for an emotionally charged girl who is so independent and has a high, you know, value for herself failing and the tears coming out. I don't think it's that unreasonable. Like, why are we getting so hung up on the tears right now?
I get it can be stressful, but only an infant would cry.
He just has an extremely, like, he doesn't like anyone that cries. He has a very extremely high standard of bar. Every human being in an anime must be the most perfect, emotionally mature, just Giga Chad possible. The moment that realism, you know, disappears from him, everything is fucking trash. That's why he can't comprehend this. Like, it's not that ridiculous, isn't it? I'm genuinely trying to understand right now. Why are you getting hung up over the tears right now of Alia crying in this moment? That it's not realistic, that she's a fucking baby goo goo gaga. Yeah, I could agree that, like, you know, she's emotionally immature, but like, to get triggered to this much, to use this, to saying this is the worst romance of the year, bro can't comprehend fiction. I mean, at a certain point, like, I think we had to really wonder, like, this guy really, you know, he really values realism above anything else. And the moment that something starts to drift off from his expectation of what reality is in a work of fiction, he considers it trash, which is fair. Everybody has different way of, you know, enjoying media and entertainment, but like, that is very odd that you get hung over a point like this.
Cry over something that mild. But that isn't the worst part. The worst part is that Masa's pretentious ass basically pulls an Aya Nakoji.
Yeah,
both Masa and Aya play the same role within their respective shows.
Exactly.
The genius asshole coming to the aids of distressed woman. And you know how I felt about Classroom of the Elite. And while Aya is far...
Yo, you got coat videos? You got coat videos? The dumbest smart anime. Oh, we gotta watch this. Oh, we gotta watch. Oh, it's a 32-minute video, the fuck. I got a coat video though. Oh, spicy.
Are more edgy. Masa is so much more annoying to me. Well, anyways, Alia and Suo run again.
Masatsuka is more annoying. He really hates Masatsuka, bro. I just find it hilarious that he just thinks that Masatsuka is like a vile and putrid person, worse than Rudius from Mushoku Tensei. Like, he just really fucking hates this guy.
To me. Well, anyways, Alia and Suo run against each other for student council presidents, with Masa on Alia's side. And let me just say, I agree with the other girl before. Only Suo, actually anybody else, should be president because of how stupid Alia is, even from a practical sense. Suo basically invites Alia to a trap and was pretty open about it. Alia knows she doesn't really have a good reason to go, and she still goes and falls for the trap anyways.
And she's a little bit of a dum-dum, right? In terms of manipulation and, stuff like this. Again, the Masatsuka family held, right? Both like Yuki and Kuze, they're really trained to be thinking like this because their family comes from like an elite line of like politicians and bureaucrats. So, Alia taking the bait here, she's getting outplayed. Alia, pretty naive, yeah.
Then, Masa has to clean up, and even what was supposed to be the most tight moment, the debate and speech, fell really short. The debate was ludicrous. The contents of their arguments themselves weren't that bad, it's how they react. They first do this shit.
Oh, okay, because again, he thinks that, like, again, it's a very, Koreans do this a lot, myself included. Have you noticed that I have a very high standard of expectations from characters that I get really mad at? For example, Sakura from Classroom Elite. You see how mad I get at that character because she's such a fucking pussy? It's a similar kind of idea here. He fucking despises weakness. This guy despises the weakness. And this honestly happens a lot where, here's an example that is completely out of left field. The most common example that happened, I think, recently within an anime that we watched is Harley Quinn. Isekai, what was it? Suicide Squad Isekai. And you don't need to know the story, but essentially, there's a character that looks just like Harley Quinn. And Harley Quinn used to be a character who was a loser, a depressed, self-loathing, self-pitying girl who changed herself. And now, this independent badass finds a girl that looks just like her in the past. And because the weakness reminds herself of her past self, she gets mad. Maybe I'm doing too much arm troll psychology here, but I have definitely experienced that kind of things where I see the weakness that I once, faced and I get fucking pissed off at it. But I can also kind of step back and realize that not everyone needs to fucking see the world from my lens of view. And it makes sense that Alia might get panicking and that she's suffocating and she's having a mental breakdown on stage. But to this YouTuber, fucking pussy retard. Pussy retard as in Alia is one. That she is panicking like this. That she's so stupid and she's a baby. Bailed out.
That is not how a debate works. What the hell are they doing?
Again, it's an anime, bro. It's a fucking anime. They stop trying to fucking apply real debate and whatever rule system they have with this fictional fucking world. If you want to get mad at the fact that Ali got bailed out again, I would agree, right? Like, I think I made the same comments in the reactions. I'm not an Alia stan at all. Alia is probably one of the most, she's my least favorite girl in the show. There's a lot of other girls that's better because Alia is a late game hyper carry. She needs to be vulnerable. She needs to show all her weaknesses in the beginning. And she also needs to be very distant. Characters like Yuki can always just pop off due to her affection being already there. But for Alia, that's just going to take time. And one of the most things that I'm frustrated at is how, like in the baseball and the base soccer debate, right? Not the debate, the dispute that Alia was trying to resolve. She couldn't do fucking anything and Masatsuka bailed her out there. I'm like, classic. Masatsuka stepping in to save Alia again. In the second debate, right? There was Nonon actually against Taniyama, right? Nonon actually set some shit up and Alia got bailed out. Masatsuka, I think, did pretty well there. I think that Alia did pretty well in terms of like handling what Taniyama said and refuting it, and then Nonon kind of stepped in with the paid actors, and then Masatsuka stepped in. So you can already kind of see the development there of like, all right, she's becoming more independent. And then the final one, right, with Yuki and stuff. Again, Alia can't do it by herself just yet. Masatsuka has to step in and save her. And stuff like that is like, classic. Alia getting carried again.
They do that because Alia is getting smoked. And then, because our cool, hot, kind, intelligent Protag-kun steps up, it's
That's right.
GG's. Next, after getting smoked, the opponent pulls this.
I view Masatsuka as One Punch Man, by the way. Or Shadow from Eminence and Shadow. Where this character is already god status and only exists to guide Alia and bail her out. Oh, this is the Nonon one. This is the Nonon one, yeah. Also, if this was a Nonon example, I think that Alia did way better here. Because the reason that Alia started to choke up is because no one literally had paid actors in the stand. If it was a fair fight, 1v1, Alia would have won. But it was a 2v1 and then Masatsuka stepped in. So I guess it was like a little better performance.
Takun steps up, it's GG's. Next, after getting smoke, the opponent pulls this.
Taniyama sucks. That part pissed me off that Alia chased after Sayachi, bro. Because if I was Alia, I'd be like, fuck you, bitch. Dumbass. I hate you, but Alia's too kind and she wants to, like, friend Taniyama. I hate Taniyama, bro.
I don't think I have to explain why that's so stupid. Then we have the actual speech. Yeah, they both present it as dignified cerebral speeches, but they're not. Suo's is the most generic shit ever, and Alia's is so much dumber than I could have ever.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't remember the content of the speech. Was it? What had to do with? What was the defining moment? Do you guys remember the talking points of the speech? I genuinely cannot remember. I feel like something had to do with like having people's vote matter, right? Wasn't Yuki's like, everyone's opinions matter. I will have a new system where you can like input your opinion and I will listen to it. Is that kind of what she led in with? Or was that Taniyama? I forget. And then what did Alia counter with? Yeah, the box thing. That was Yuki, right? Yuki kind of said like, I want your input. What was Alia's talking point? You guys remember that shit? I genuinely don't remember. No, the method of choosing the student council member was the focus of the Taniyama debate because they were trying to they were trying to basically say that this system is fucking rigged and Alia doesn't deserve it. This is nepotism. But then Alia kind of got bailed out at the end along with Masatsuka and, you know, Prez by saying, well, no, actually, the reason that the system worked, look at Prez. He's a fucking example of why meritocracy worked here. In terms of the last one, Alia said she wants equal rights. Something about her improving. I honestly don't remember what the fuck Alia said at the end.
Imagined.
What'd she say? Oh, this is the technique of capturing the audience by saying something Russian. Okay. I swear to God, if this guy gets mad at this, because remember, one of the most important things in public speaking is to command the audience. And what does Masatsuka do to command the audience in the beginning? He does mic check, boom, annoying noises, or make a self-deprecating joke to, you know, lighten the mood. Alia, this is Alia's version of that.
It's so fucking stupid. I get it was planned, but what the fuck? The reason was that they wanted to pour cold water on them. But to do that, you could have done any other stupid shit.
But why would they? The whole theme is Alia being Russian and speaking Russian. It ties into the whole gimmick of the show.
Could have gone up there and flashed your balls or goat's eat or any dumb shit and it would have worked. And somehow, they still chose the dumbest option. During all this,
all the complaints about this show from this guy is, I hate these characters. That's why this is the worst romance of the year. And he can think that. Who am I to say otherwise? All we're doing is fucking yapping here. Everyone has different subjective takes, right? But like, if you're biased towards these characters and your worldviews interferes with objectively rating the anime based on production value and the story, I feel like you're kind of losing the plot.
Mayhem, we get sprinkled parts of Masa's backstory, and from what I can see, he is literally Kosei from Your Lie in April. And I'm not talking about how the world revolves around him, I'm talking about the whole mom thing. Masa's mom doesn't seem as bad, but it's fundamentally the same backstory. It almost feels like the show was specifically made for me to hate. How do they mix up?
I can tell that, bro. Everything about this show, you have such vitriol hate for it. I genuinely cannot comprehend how someone gets this mad at anime. Like, if there's like a girl that's being super fucking nasty, like, here's the thing. You know, like, Dream Boy's a realist? You know how mad I got at Natsuka? That's me being angry at the character and being triggered at the anime because that character is fucking trash and the way that she treats other people is fucking annoying, right? It's fucking aggravating. This is like, I hate how they're written. I hate everything about them. Even though Masatsuka is still, fuck that vile, putrid motherfucker. He's a predator. Like he just like hates everything and everyone.
Up so many things I hate. But, you know, this whole thing could be self-aware. Self-awareness makes everything good, right? Yes, but sadly, this is not self-awareness. By self-awareness in a show, I mean knowing what you're doing is ridiculous, but going all the way with it and making it almost sarcastic or changing a crucial part in it to subvert the trope, like a parody. So, it is not self-awareness if you acknowledge the fact that you are doing something stupid, but then do nothing to change it and continue to do said stupid thing.
Very abstract right now. Give me an example of that.
So it is also not self-awareness to do the indirect kiss bullshit, acknowledge it, but do it in the exact same way everyone else does it. Also, I can't express the utter disdain I have for this trope with words in any human language. It's so stupid. If indirect kissing was a big deal, I've indirectly made out with too many people. I would be an indirect man-whore.
Why are you getting mad at an indirect kiss trope? It's the most innocent, cute thing. It's not that big of a deal. Holy shit. Is there some unresolved issues right now? Like, I don't understand where the hate is coming. Like, this is the most unserious shit. You can get mad at anything, but like this? You're getting mad at an indirect kiss?
If that's the case. And not just me. I'm pretty sure that everyone watching this is an indirect gigaslut. It's not that crazy. It's really not that crazy.
Yeah, it's not. So why are you getting so mad at it? It's just a simple thing in Japanese culture and rom-coms. Just indirect kiss. It's the most, just, you know, cute little thing. It's like, why does this make you so mad?
Getting back on track though, let me give you a couple more examples of the lack of self-awareness.
Okay.
The sister fucking. We know this is a trope where the sister wakes up on top of the brother. I actually don't mind this. I think this has a sliver of self-awareness. I'll acknowledge that. I like the scene, but it devolves from there. She just wants to fuck him. Nothing changed.
I don't think she actually wants to. Maybe I'm crazy, but I thought that this affection is because of the nature of how they got separated. And Yuki wants to be good to Masatsuka because no one else is. Now, is that a good reason? I don't know about that, but there is a reason for why she is, you know, playing like this gremlin incest little sister that wants to fuck big bro, right? They're both weebs and they're both into super otaku culture, right? Incest stuff is also very prominent in otaku culture. And I thought that the whole what's the love for Masatsuka is not really that she wants to fuck him, but rather she's memeing around with these stereotypes and, you know, these tropes. At the same time, the reason for the affection is because, again, Masatsuka is basically hated by the rest of the family because of the divorce and whatever happened after that.
She just likes him in a romantic manner. That is not self-awareness. The premise of the show even.
Is it? Again, the backstory that I just mentioned, is that not the self-awareness part? The fact that she is acting like this because of the way that he's treated and demonized by the rest of the family, is that not proof that this is self-awareness? But again, I've only seen season 1. Maybe I'm wrong about this. I don't know. To me, I thought that this is just a joke.
It's stupid and generic. Do they change the way they do a tsundere meets plain guy show, or even the bare minimum of acknowledging it? No. So this show has a handful of self-aware moments, but it isn't as a whole. So yeah, this show is egregious. It has some of the worst character and plot, but hey, it has good animation, I guess. But even that.
Yeah, the production value is good. He just fucking despises the characters and he despises the plot because it's so personally triggering for him, which is fair.
Only some parts. Specifically, the horny scenes. The edgy scenes took up about 95% of the whole studio's budget for this show.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe not. Sex sells. First episode impression sells. To go all out like that from a business marketing perspective, it's smart.
And my source is that you should just trust me, bro. And this wasn't a show where a little extra effort here and there could have fixed it, or one where a few mistakes made it barely bad. No, the only way the show becomes good is by having a different plot, different characters, different studio, different...
No. You just have to stop watching it. Plenty of people watch Roast today and they were just fine with it. And maybe we're all just zygote brained, man. Maybe we all have room temperature IQ. But I feel like the complaints made about the anime right now. This is the next level of exaggeration that I cannot comprehend.
Different name, different everything. It's so unimaginably bad. And well, there you have it. My name is NoahBoahCoah, and thank you for watching. Now, let's try this again. Меня зовут NoahBoahCoah и спасибо за просмотр. Did I get it right? I think I got it right. God damn, let's go.
Well then. What a video, huh? Of all animes to get mad at, Roasted is the one that this guy pops a fucking... He's having a stroke watching this. This is like self-harm. I feel like this is self-harm at a certain point. Like the bulk of the complaints. There's a lot of things I do agree with, that Ali is a fucking pussy. But like, Masatsuka being a vile predator, Yuki having no self-awareness and is simply incest bait and she just wants to fuck brother, that's not true though. Did we watch the same show? I'm not really sure, but at the end of the day, everyone has different... Like, entertainment is subjective, right? He's allowed to be mad at it, and we're also allowed to be confused at it. I just feel like the amount of vitriol and hate spewed out for an anime like Roasted is just funny to me. Like, of all animes to get pissed off at, Roasted is the one that you have a fucking stroke over, but hey... please check out. Is there any funny comments actually? I don't know. It's like, at the end of the day, I feel like I don't really have criticisms of this show, but more so about the people that watched it and about how like people are hyping this shit up, but they only really cared about the incest moments, right? Without caring about the actual plot. But besides that, I thought it was like a solid 7.5 out of 10. Most comments agree on him? Well, of course they're going to agree with him, right? Every channel is an echo chamber, right? Of course he has his fans that, you know, he's created a brand and community around. So I don't, obviously, you know, I'm not surprised that they're not going to agree with that shit. But please go check out Mr. NoahBoahCoah's channel. Here's a link to the video. And I will see you guys next time.